Hey guys, what it is yo girl Cadillac. Yes, I am Cadillac Dixon. I'm the Draw My Life prison wife. I'm the legally blind artist that is rapping and painting for justice, hoping to see justice before all face to black. Yeah, hiss ya girl Cadillac. Hey guys, I am so glad I got off early today. I did try to, go by the chiropractor because I have an appointment in about an hour and 40 minutes. I was hoping that I could go by the chiropractor first because it was on my way home and then, be about my merry way. But I got there and nobody answered. So, girl, I'm here at the park. Anyway, so since we just sat in here, we might as well finish our stroll down memory lane with my channel. I don't know. I released, that video that I did yesterday got, I guess that's good for me, 8 views within not even 24 hours because I released that late last night. Matter of fact, fell asleep on the bed uploading it. Didn't get to release it till I was on my way into work. So I think that's pretty decent. I don't get a lot of views on my longer content. And that's where we're at. We're trying to get more views on my longer content so I can get that watch time hour up, so I can finally get monetized, so I can finally have enough money to leave my 9-to-5 job and to get my husband home, because I need lawyer monies and such. Yes, so I can be free on every side, free in every way. So today I did release a couple of shorts where I was painting. I was doing this painting for a co-worker, but unfortunately I was not able to finish it. I literally just got off. Maybe it's been almost an hour and I just released them, and y'all are blowing me away with the amount of views and likes already on those. So I am very flattered and thankful for all those views, but I also need some views on the longer content so I can get the watch time hours up, so I can be that artist that I've always wanted to be. Okay, so let's jump back in where we left off. We left off on part 3 of my Draw My Life. I was going back telling you about those. So part 3 was called My Baby. Oh, my baby was born in 2001. And then I have, I can't see this girl. Oh, from this to this. Let me show you the thumbnail. That's the thumbnail. I used to spend hours creating my thumbnails. So, as you see, we went from there, Marcello, money, together, and love, and then to her visiting him in prison. Yep. So from that to that. Back when my channel did first start, not really when it first started. I mean, when I first returned back to my channel in 2020, I also started doing something called Sean Cannell courses. I found Aaron on Demand. I found a lot of YouTubers, because y'all know that story of me creating something. I really created something on Facebook, and I uploaded it, and nobody viewed it, nobody watched it. I spent hours upon hours, and that's a really low feeling when you create. You're not just creating garbage. You actually have a real gift and a real talent, and people refuse to look at it. Not even your family, not even your, friends. So it makes you feel like it's just not good enough. So I was really frustrated. I had said I was going to be done with social media altogether. Really, there is no real way in this day and age for an artist to get their artwork out there, but for freaking internet. But it makes it so much harder because you're not just competing with the artists in your city. You're competing with the whole freaking goddamn world, which I'm just a drop in a bucket. It's the same situation with Marcello. Nobody cares about his story because he's one in a whole bunch of goddamn people that are in prison. You know what I mean? So It's better to be a bigger fish in a smaller bowl than to be in a humongous ocean. You really ain't gonna find that jewel then. But back then, so the courses said you had to have a good clickable thumbnail, you had to do all this keyword research, you had to do this and fill your description box up almost at least 1/3 of the way full, and putting in your links and all types of stuff. And y'all know I can't type because I have the severe carpal tunnel, arthritis, and nerve damage in my hands, so it would take me forever and ever to fill out all of that. But I would do that for each video, and I would Photoshop each thumbnail. So the thumbnail is not that small. The thumbnail is actually a big, pretty designed at pretty big size. But once I bring it from Photoshop, I would kind of mash it down and it would be smaller for the purposes of what it was. But needless to say, each thumbnail could take me hours, sometimes days, because I was Photoshopping each image, and then also trying to figure out how to make it interesting, you know what I mean? So yeah, I spent a lot of time and a lot of work in these videos. And I wasn't getting a lot of views until last year. I think it was around my dad's birthday. So it would have been about October. I just got completely fed up. It felt like all my hard work is very much in vain. I'm doing all this for nothing. I might as well not even do it. So I got to the point where I was like, if I cannot record and just upload, then I'm not doing it. So I became to where I didn't want to do no extra work. I just literally record, upload. And that's what I do now. But I wasn't doing that back then. So let's go ahead and get back to that video. And then we're going to go to the next one. Anyway, he goes to court, and that's also another story time. He goes to court. We're thinking, he's going to get through this, and he doesn't. The judge gives him 40 years. He does have 6 charges. Now, that part, when I went to court with Marcello, went to trial was so freaking bogus. You would have thought. I even drew out this picture where it was like, it looks like a commercial break. It looked like it was a stage play, first of all. Like we were in a sitcom. And it's like the state lawyer and Marcello's public defender, everyone would act like they're, playing their actual role that they should be playing. But when it became recess time, that's when Marcello's lawyer would run over to the state lawyer. They're on opposing sides, and they'll be talking and laughing and giggling, and I've seen him passing her Altoids and this and that. And I'm like, then you also seen the people that testified that Marcello robbed, y'all know, $80 from them. And the reason, if you watch my channel, that I say $60 is because they claimed that Marcello stole $80 from them with a weapon. Then when Marcello was arrested and searched, he did not have the $80 that they said that he had. They said Marcello only has $60 on him. That's when the police gave the police report, the affidavit, back to the people that said that Marcello took 80 from him. They crossed it out and wrote in 60, initialed it, and put a little smiley face. Now that smiley face, that came up later during the trial as well. But they were allowed to amend their sworn affidavits after they found out how much Marcello truly had. So this whole 40 years is over $80. 60 or 80, it's way too goddamn much time. It's way too much time. And Marcello didn't steal the money from them. Marcello had just got paid that day. He had just got paid. He just cashed his check. Y'all remember this was 2001. People still cashed their checks and walked around with money on them. Y'all can find out more about, I have a whole bunch of videos. Basically, okay, so if you want to find out more about his story, start in the playlist. Let me see what it's called really quickly. Okay, the playlist is called Marcello Jackson, Wrongfully Convicted Florida Man. And I have plenty of videos there that you could start with, where I'm telling the case. I'm showing you each hole in the case, because I've been poking so many holes into this case to where the case don't hold water at all. And there's no answers. It's like, when you have these questions, you need to answer them. True crime committed, and you find the actual person that did it, and you have all the pieces, it just makes sense. This doesn't make sense. It's like you went and found all these different pieces and you just put them, you forced them together, but it's not tying up all ends. It doesn't make sense. So you can check out that playlist there. I also have a change petition for Marcello. I haven't checked on that thing since last year. It was doing decent, and then I lost traction on it, trying to get him a new trial after 21 years. Please give him a new trial. But you can Google that one. That is Marcello Jackson, Florida Man wrongfully convicted. I believe if you Google those words, you can find the petition there. Later, I'll probably just be able to link it in the description box. Anyways, let's get back to the Draw My Life video. Ran concurrently, so he has to do a 40-year sentence, and he's serving for all of the charges at the same time. He had no priors. It was just so crazy. Like, this came from nowhere. We were just planning to get married, have more kids. We both were going to be successful. I was going to finish college finally, and the whole coin just flipped to the other side. So, like I said, he had no priors. Even there was this advocate that came forward, and they were actually recommending Marcello just do boot camp, because it was like, he's 19 years old. Well, I don't know what point he turned 20, but he was 19 when the alleged crime happened. But there was like, he was 19. He has no record. Nobody just goes from no record to just committing a crime like this. That doesn't usually happen that way. So they was like, this is his first offense. Let's just give him boot camp. And the judge jumped in and said, no, if he was my son, I would want someone to be lenient on him too. But he said, the truth of the matter is, if Marcello Jackson was not stopped, these two guys, the ones that said that Marcello robbed $60 from him, he said those two guys would have been dead. Now, I have no clue where he even gathered that they would be dead when they weren't even shot or hurt. There's no weapon recovered. They say that there was a weapon there, that Marcello, and this is how the weapon got introduced. One of the guys said that he felt cold steel against his nose. So they took that as a weapon that starts with a G. I can't say that on YouTube, but they never produced it at all. Also, during the trial, the two guys were not allowed to be in the courtroom at the same time. So one gave their testimony, the other had to leave. Then the other came in, gave their testimony, the other one had to leave. They had completely different stories. In many parts of their stories, they conflicted with one another. They didn't even make sense. And one of the guys appeared to be on substances. Matter of fact, after I researched him, he has a rap sheet from here to there of all kinds of DUIs and all types of like standing in traffic and all kinds of crazy charges that he's accumulated with substance and drinking attributed to these, charges or whatever. But that day he was like this. He was shaking. He was doing this. That's what he was doing while he was on the stand. And they would ask him something because basically the other guy had already testified and he's giving different answers than the other guy. So whenever it was caught on that that's not the answer the other guy just gave, they would ask it again. Are you sure, sir? Are you sure? And he'd be like, yeah. He was not even fit to stand a trial. But they took his word. They took his word. Oh my God. They think so low of us as African Americans that you take anything. You'd probably take a word of a dog over a black man, which is crazy. But the man is up there doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And I do have the transcript where I am going to start highlighting and actually pinpointing instead of me just telling you these inconsistencies, oh, there are many inconsistencies. No, baby, I'm going to show you what each inconsistency was. Okay. So anyways, they both had conflicting stories, but still 40 years. So the judge says that he's pretty sure that had Marcello not been stopped, the two would have been killed. So I don't know how you jump to kill when nobody was even hurt, harmed, nothing. No weapon fired, nothing. And under Florida statute of 1020 life, now that was the sentencing statute for weapon use. 10 years if you had a weapon that starts with a G on you. 20 years if it was fired. And it was up to life if you hurt somebody, if you shot somebody or hurt somebody, right? 10, 20 life. So even though you want to say Marcello had a weapon, this hearsay weapon that you can't find, there's no way you couldn't have found it if Marcello had it on him, but you can't find it. I guess the ground opened up, it disintegrated, the portal, did y'all see Black Panther? That portal thing came down and just zoomed it up. Anyway, it's missing, and it shouldn't be missing if it was ever there, if you understand what I'm trying to say. So, you said there was a weapon, but every person that claimed there was a weapon all said it was never fired. So, how were you able to pass the sentencing statute of 1020 life when firing a weapon was 20 years? Actually hitting a person was to life. So how did they jump from the 10 years of just committing a crime with a weapon to all the way up to 40? Now, the judge also followed that up to say, so he said that if Marcello was my son, I would want someone to have leniency on him too. But the truth of the matter is that if Marcello Jackson was not stopped, these two would have been dead. So I want Marcello to feel the wrath of what he did for the rest of his life. But just so, he said, I want to give Marcello life. But just so Marcello has a second chance at life, I will only give him 40 years. That's what was said. Yeah. All right, let's go on to the next one. So the next part of Draw My Life, part 4, is Mama, I Wanna Dance. Bands will make her dance. Basically saying that I needed lawyer money and I wanted to, that was like my only way to make some money really quickly and fastly. So I wanted to dance, just so you know, and I never looked back once I had that lawyer money. Or I never look back once I get them stacks. This came from nowhere. We were just planning to get married, have more kids. We both were going to be Hold on, let me fast forward. Own something somewhere. This cannot be 40 years. We were 19 and 20. Do you know how old we would be in 40 years? Yeah, of course you know, because I'm almost there now. But back then I was young, and my daughter was only That was 9 so months. Hard to and I remember she would go visit him. Like she knew him because he was the babysitter. Like he would stay home all day long with her. He would try to comb my hair. He fed her. Like he was so in love with her, his child. Like he And just snatched out her life. And when he did finally get a job, life. When he did, he was the one that provided like everything, and he paid for the daycare, and he paid for all of her. She was a little greedy baby, so all her extra formula, just like and Princess. He paid for. We didn't have insurance on her yet, so. Can you believe this part? Marcello was arrested when our daughter was 2 months old. He was tried, wrongfully convicted when our daughter was 9 months old. Our daughter is 21 years old now. And you know, I just had my first grandchild. Marcello will not be free until my grandchild, who is 7 months old, turns about 17 years old. Over $60, I mean $80. I'm sorry, I'm saying it backwards. Over 80, scratch it out, $60. Just to make the puzzle piece fit Marcello. That's crazy. That's a long time for a crime that even if it did happen, it's not worth that time. They're over sentencing him. So not only are you wrongfully convicting him, you're over sentencing him. And I can't get a soul to care but myself. Oh, that's why it's so freaking frustrating. But let's continue. Every time we had to take her to the doctor, he paid like out of pocket. Like that was all him. So when he was gone, I was left like, what the heck am I gonna do? Like he actually supports us. Like I don't know what to do now. So by any means necessary, we was finna get him home. So I started out, I was like, okay, well I do hair. Maybe I could do so many heads of hair and raise up money, because it was then I needed $10,000 to get him an appeal, to pay for an appeal lawyer. So I was like, I can get that 10 grand. I'm gonna just, do this much hair. And I was doing the math and everything. And I was doing hair that wasn't working out. So then I was like, girl, I'm gonna strip. I hate to do this, but I'm just gonna have to strip to make this money. I can make it real quick and I'll never look back. I won't do it no more. I just get his money to get his appeal lawyer and we'll be good. But I used to, I bought my little stripper outfit. It didn't work out so well. I didn't have the nerve to do it. I had a body. But I did have that body. Ain't no plan. That's why they call me Cadillac. Yeah. I had some booty in the back. But I was still shy. I still had that Scarface mentality though. And I used to call up the club. When it says Scarface, when I say Scarface mentality, that's because that was the nickname that the kids that bullied me gave me, Scarface. Because I did fall on my face. I made a homemade, girl, I was always making something, doing something. I didn't have a skateboard, so I was going to make me one. Made a homemade skateboard with some board and some roller skates. I went to pushing my sister on it, and the roller skate wheel got stuck in a crack, and I slid across the concrete. They had to treat me as though I was a burn victim. All of this on this side, which you probably can still see it. The scars still kind of remain behind, but all that dark area and all that was all skinned off my face. I had one on my chest and my hands. See those raised scars? All of that is from that skateboard accident. Most of my scars have pretty much blended in, so you can't really notice them. And I knocked my teeth out. So I looked like a monster, and people picked on me and everything. So that's what kind of made me an outcast and made me just stay to myself because I was not accepted. So that's what I mean by Scarface mentality. And I was like, yeah, so how do you audition? And it was like, you got to come down here and you have to do like a private audition. And that scared the heck out of me. But I was like, I could do it because, I'm doing this for Bae. Like, we got to get Bae home. So I would practice and practice in front of my mirror. Oh, let me show you the picture. There it is. That is so cute, though. And it was like, you got to come down here and you have to do like a private audition. And that scared the heck out of me. But I was like, I could do it because, I'm doing this for Bae. Like, we got to get Bae home. Mm-hmm. So I would practice and practice in front of my mirror. I had my little clothes on, my little outfits, furry outfits. It was crazy. My little clear stripper heels. And the clear heels for the after party. And then I would drive down to the club and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to audition today. And I couldn't go in. I couldn't get up the nerve, girl. And I'm like, no, okay, that's because I wasn't ready. I'm going to practice. I'm going to get it. And I'll make a better routine. And then I'll drive down there and I'll circle the building. I'm like, I can't go. I could not go in and do the audition. So I was like, well, I guess we're going to have to stop right there because I'm running out of time. Thank you for riding with your girl Cadillac. Yeah, it's your girl Cadillac.